To kick off the celebration of our 5-year anniversary, we return our bespoke color in collaboration with Megabass, Secret Back Perch. Let's get into this week's drop. How's it going, guys? Travis here from Tacklebros. Welcome back to the drop, joined by my good friend, Ashton Reed D'Souza.
Yep.
Should we give out your middle name?
We just did.
QTR_46.
The R stands for Reed.
Yes, sir, it does. You guys can give me a follow at Tacklebros on Instagram. I think I'm almost about 1,000 friends right now.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of getting up there. Or just go follow all of our main social media at Tacklebros Fishing. We figured out how to put the links in the description.
Yes,
what a world we live in. First off, apologies for my voice. We've been traveling a lot, been chatting a lot, and I'm kind of losing my voice. Ash got me sick for like the whole time we were in Japan, so I'm just sort of recovering from that. We landed back here about 24 hours ago, so still a little jet lag, but I was gonna say happy to be home, but it's way colder here. There's way more snow here. The food's not as good here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not happy with it. Be nice. Be nice. Nice cool to sahi with Hideki.
This is true.
Having some yakitori.
Okonomiyaki.
Yeah. You a fan of the okonomiyaki?
I do like the okonomiyaki.
So do I. Johnny was maybe not so curious.
Maybe not so curious.
All right, guys. Well, as you know, last week we were in Japan. Well, if you're following our social media, you guys will know that last week we were in Japan at the Osaka Fishing Show, looking at all of the amazing stuff that's going to be coming out from a lot of the brands we know and love in the shop. Megabass really stood out. I know a lot of you guys were messaging me about that Evolutions rod. It was, what'd you think about the Megabass?
It was crazy. Megabass really showed out this year.
Yeah, so I think this is our second? I don't know. We've been to a few Osaka shows anyways, and I feel like this year was really, bass was kind of pushed down. It was really more saltwater forward.
Yeah.
But we got to go to a couple private events, one being Megabass, and wow, is there some cool stuff coming this year. We did put out a little bit of a real kind of teaser when we were over there showing some stuff, but over the next couple months, there is going to be some really, really cool stuff. Some, color refreshes in baits that have really needed them. And then just new products. That new Evolutions rod is like that titanium cross weaving with the graphite was crazy. Overall, great trip. Did you have a good time?
Great time.
I had a great time too. We're going to go back there shortly though.
Yes. To
go to another show, which will be great. Let's jump into this week's drop. I'm going to get tired really quickly today because I'm still kind of suffering from the 14-hour time difference for us. I'm going to just jump right into it. So this is our bespoke color that we have done. This is our second drop of it before. The last time we had this, we had never had a drop before. So I'm actually looking forward to sort of breaking down my thought process behind making, Secret Back Perch is what the SB stands for if you're not familiar. This is our shop color that we collaborated with Megabass on the Vision Oneten, literally probably about a year ago right now. I think it was it the first week of January?
I think it was February 2nd last year.
Was it?
I think so.
Anyways, we released this early last year, kind of around this time because we were in Japan last year when it came out. And now we get to re-release it. Now, the Vision Oneten is phenomenal, but the thing that really, really got me excited about this one was I somehow convinced them to do it in a Junior +1, which if you guys have been watching this for any amount of time, you know that this is my favorite jerkbait in the Megabass lineup, and then also in the Vision +1. So two new amazing, additions to what I would say is probably the perfect northern smallmouth color. It's obviously going to work anywhere. It's going to work smallmouth and largemouth, but my thought process really behind this was for kind of my true love, which is northern smallmouth. So I'm gonna break this color down. Let's go with, you know what? We're gonna go with the OG. So this is Secret Back Perch. You're gonna notice that it is very transparent, and that was something that I wanted to do. I thought it was important. Now, GP Pro Perch has been one of my favorite colors forever. SB Obi Shad has also been one of my favorite colors forever. And that was kind of the concept going into this, that we would, you know, take the best parts of each and sort of put it together. Now, when I first got this little white portion on the belly here with the pearlescent was a little bit of a shock to me, but it was probably turned into one of my favorite parts of this bait. They added this as just sort of, you know, a little bit more spice to it. It works so well. It kind of tones down that, you know, that OB just a little bit, making it a little bit more, refined. Is that the right word?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
This is a sort of blackish, dark green back. That's what we're going to start with here. And then we're going to go down to the sides to a, you know, sort of a heavy layer of gold here. And then it kind of fades into a gold mist the further it goes down. You guys can see the bars. The bars also have a little bit of gold to them, but the bars in certain lights and certain angles completely disappear. Like, I can look at this sometimes and I'm like if I'm there, I can't see the bars at all. So it's a really cool effect that they've been able to do on this. Then we're gonna have that sort of pearl belly area, and then the star of the show is that secret back. So if you can see right up in there, the entire back on this guy from the underside has been painted a sort of orangish color. That all combined together has just been, I mean, this was, I mean, obviously I have to say this, but this produced some mega fish for me this year. Now, we originally had some video content, some photos of us, because I've had these two samples right here. So these are the two new models that this color is going to be available in. I've had these two samples for 6 months.
Yeah.
Would that be fair?
Fair.
I think we had about 3 or 4 of the samples. You know, most of them are completely beat. I think I saved one just in case the project actually didn't work, just to have one for a sort of keepsake. But the Vision Junior +1, this is my favorite jerkbait ever made. Excited beyond belief that I get to have this color in this. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it's slightly different. It's almost a little bit more, you know, SB. I've noticed that in the faces, the SB really comes out because they picked a great color of orange for this overall. Like, the SB Obi Shad is more red.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SB Obi Shad is more red. This is more like true sort of orange color. You can really see the orange on this guy. So on the angle, you can get it up there in the head and then on the tail. Excited beyond belief to have this. So, and then there it is in the Vision +1. Now, where I fish a lot, I don't throw the 110. It's sort of reserved for, I mean, a handful of times per year, but these two sizes are tied on to my jerkbait rods almost year round, the +1 and the +1. And that's sort of why I press so hard to get this done again. Now, this year is our 5-year anniversary of Peterborough Pro Tackle / us Tacklebros now. The actual date is going to be in June. Leading up to that, we're going to have there's going to be a lot of cool things happening this year. Let's just leave it at that. Whether it be on the date, after the date, around the date, starting now, we're going to start doing a lot more collaborative stuff this year just to sort of celebrate the 5-year milestone, which is hard to believe that it's only been 5 years. Starting out with this is one that I'm really, really proud of. Last time we had this, it sold out crazy fast. So hopefully, if you guys are, you know, you've seen this one online and you're kind of wondering if you'll ever be able to have it, this is hopefully the opportunity. Now there's gonna be a limit of 5 per SKU. So you get 5 of these guys, 5 of these guys, and 5 of these guys. I just like to let everybody have at least enough to be able to fish and sort of spread the love a little bit. There's not a ton of them. I got as many as they would let me grab. Maybe in the future we'll be able to do it again. This one was pretty hard to pull off. SB Perch, Secretback Perch, now available from Tacklebros. Thank you guys for the support for the first 5 years. And yeah, pretty dope to have our own Vision color, man. That's something that everybody wants one, but you know, to have one is pretty sick. All right, let's jump over to Deps. I told you guys on last week's drop that we had a box that sort of got misplaced. Thankfully showed up. The Evoke 1.8. Now this is Deps's sort of 55 millimeter, just over 3/8. Is it 5/16? No, it wouldn't be 7/16. I think it's 7/16. Somewhere in that region. I'm not good with the conversion. I'm better with
How many grams is it?
It's 11.5 grams.
There you go.
11.5 grams. Ryugi trebles on this guy. These are nothing new. This is our biggest restock we've ever got on them. I think all these colors pretty much are new to our lineup. It's gonna dive about 5 to 6 feet, depending on the line that you're using. Obviously, if you go down a little bit or up a little bit, let's just say 4 to 6 feet.
Yeah.
4 to 6 feet. So Deps Evoke 1.8. I'm gonna like fly through the colors quick. So this is gonna be Pondgill, Olive Craw, Redgill, Megabass, Red Craw Chartreuse Belly, Pinkback, Biwako Chartreuse, Brownback Chartreuse, Sexy Shad, Real Bluegill. That's a great one, man. I just love bluegill pattern. Probably the number one, I would think. Blueback Chartreuse, Blackback Chartreuse, two more. Blackback Shad, and Golden Shiner. So if you guys are a fan of the Evoke series from Deps, the 1.8 is for me, it's the size. That's the size I throw the most, like those 6-foot divers. Check those out. It's there we go. It's a dope little crankbait. Like I said, Ryugi hooks on there, so you don't have to change anything out. It's silent. I love Evokes.
Yeah, cool.
Evokes and kind of like, I would say if the bulk of my cranking is Evoke and Blitzes.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next up from Deps, we have another brand new product. This one's a little bit weird. So if you're familiar with Deps at all, you know Deps is a, bass. That's,
that's Deps.
Yeah. This is a enter into the world of trout for Deps. This is going to be the Deps Circuit Vibe Trout model. So this is a very, very tiny version of their Circuit Vibe. It's going to be 2 grams. They're all going to be 2 grams. I'm going to run through the colors with you guys really quick. This is going to be a cool one for ice fishing.
Oh, absolutely.
It'd be a bougie ice fishing lure because I can imagine, with it being Deps. But this would certainly play. And you could switch out the barbless hook.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This would play.
Absolutely.
This is an ice player, man. I'm going to run through the colors. I'm going to give you the color number. And then when you're on the site, it'll say the name and the number beside it. So you can kind of correlate if you're looking for any of these. This is going to be number 7 right here. So that's a cool one. This one has to be like Scuppernong or brown. This is number 8. This is probably Pink Glow, number 6. I would say this is like a mustard color. Number 5. I like having to guess interpret the colors.
Oh yeah.
Number 4 is going to be matte black. Number 1, if this was me, I'd just call it disco.
There you go.
It's a pretty cool one. This one has texture to it, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah. This is going to be number 2. And last but not least, this is going to be number 3. So this is a half black, and the other side's like that disco color that I was showing you guys. So a trout addition to the Deps lineup, which is pretty crazy, but I think they're cool, man. Obviously they're going to work for trout, but this just looks like an ice fishing lure to me, for us anyways. There's a couple different points you can obviously connect to. You could put a little snap in there, and then you can also add another hook if you really want to, down sort of towards the chin of the bait. Yeah, I think it's a cool little bait from Deps. Circuit vibes are obviously classic, so check those out. new from Deps. Okay, and then lastly from Deps, this is actually something that I've actually been using for quite some time, and I feel like they haven't produced in a very long time. This is going to be the 5-inch Deathadder. Now, the number 3 we've had in stock for forever, but the 5-inch is sort of probably one of the most popular bladed jig trailers in Japan for, I mean, right now it is for sure, but for a little bit of time. If you're not familiar with the Deathadder, it's basically like a sort of a worm style. Worm style bait's a little bit crazy to say. So there's the Deathadder right there. So it's more flat on the side, and then it has a slimmer, belly profile. It has this crazy tail that gives a ton of action. This pairs up amazingly with a bladed jig. So if you're looking for a bladed jig trailer, this is perfect for it. You can also fish this thing by itself. It has a belly slit down the middle of it for you to put a hook in. This is not a new product. We've had it here in a 3-inch forever. It's available all the way up to a 6 in Japan, which hopefully we'll eventually get those. But the 5 is the sweet spot for me as a trailer. So that one that I was holding up the entire time, this is going to be Green Pumpkin number 12. We're also going to have Clear. It's clear, but it's got some substance because of the salt. So it's actually a really good looking color right there. Natural Pro Blue, Junebug, Black, Watermelon Pro Blue, Scuppernong, Watermelon, White Clear Silver Flake, Pearl White Silver Flake. So check those out, new in from Deps. All right, now briefly from Jackall, some of the JDM 4-inch drift fries have returned. There's not a crazy amount of them or anything, but some of the better colors kind of come back into stock. Again, there's 2 drift fry pages for us. We have sort of the JDM ones, and then we also have the NA drift fries. So if you guys have been looking for 4-inch drift fries, there's a little handful of them, nothing too crazy. And then also the Cultiva, so Cultiva and Owner, same thing. Brothers, unity. The Cultiva range rollers kind of come back in stock. The Owner ones have been really tough to get back in stock, but basically, the 1/8 1/0s, the 2/7 1/0s, the 3.5 gram 3/0s, and then the 5.3 gram 3/0s in the Cultiva Range Rovers. Those are all back in stock. So a new product in from Jackall Japan. You guys know how much I love micro jigs. Jackall makes a really cool micro jig called a Shaggy. Yep, there it is right there. So what makes this so cool is obviously those extra little strands. It has a weed guard on it, which I actually like. And it comes in some great colors and sizes. So yeah, extra strands. It's going to be pretty weedless. They sort of fish this on bottom. You can kind of tell by the head design. But if you want to hop it, you want to flip it into things on a BFS rig, I will probably sort of bottom hop this thing. That's how I envision this being fished. It's going to have a tied skirt and then a nice little keeper. So this is a pretty small hook. We were trying to debate what we thought it was. I said a number 2. It's designed for 2 and 3-inch style baits, somewhere in that range. We're gonna have a handful of colors and 2 different weights. So the 2 different weights are gonna be 3.5 grams. And then we're also going to have a 2.7 grams. So fairly light. 3.5 grams is an 1/8. So it's not too crazy. I mean, most things I fish these days are like an 1/8. And then the other one's going to be a 3/32. So again, not crazy small. It's just another really cool addition to the micro jig lineup. The price is really appealing. I think they're like, how much are the US?
$5.79.
Yeah, they're pretty affordable. Canadian, I think they're like $7.
Yep, $7.89.
Yeah, so pretty dope little jig in from Jackall, the Shaggy. How many colors do you remember? How many colors we got?
Green pumpkin blue, silhouette crayfish, and green pumpkin chartreuse.
So 3 colors.
Yep, 3 colors.
So there's your green pumpkin chartreuse. There's your green pumpkin blue. silhouette crayfish, which is sort of a scuppernong with a little bit of red flake in there. So 3 super easy to throw colors and 2 great sizes, new in from Jackall Japan. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. Hopefully everyone got their hands on one of these guys. Thanks again for all the support over the first 5 years. Hopefully we get to do this for a couple more. I mean, eventually we might be too old for YouTube, but we'll keep doing this some way. We'll see you guys next week on The Drop.